although Anthony was surprised his shot did not go in.
Sensation Rising Radio.
It's the Sky News Show on Talk 90.
Talk 92.1, our final hour on this fine Tuesday. Your first day back. The streets were kind of quiet yesterday. Everybody taking the day off to honor the man and the movement and all the progress made by Dr. Martin Luther King. Hope you paused for 2 seconds to remember where you were if you're old enough. Gretchen and I were.
Oh yeah, I'm old enough.
I was born in 62, my friends. I remember asking questions. Don't know if I remembered the answers, but I remember asking questions. Hi, Gretchen.
Good morning.
Gretchen Quarterman, you heard as we wrapped up last hour in to talk about South Georgia growing local. There's a couple of people I run into on a regular basis. Gretchen's one. You mentioned Charlie Barnes. He's another. If you get him started on growing local, you better have an hour set aside.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
We don't
Whole
have
hour.
We don't have an hour.
In an hour, I could give a talk on something.
Well, what I want you to do is kind of break down some of the breakout groups, these scheduled topics. And people, this is happening this Saturday from 9 until 4:30 at Pinevale Elementary School. Great parking and everything else indoors, so don't fear the rain. Matter of fact, welcome the rain if you're going local.
That's right.
Oh,
So
sorry.
If it's a rainy day, did you have me turned off?
I shut you up.
We're going to be at Pinevale Elementary in Valdosta. We're thankful for the city schools this year. They're letting us use the kitchen. So we're going to have a cooking track. And in our cooking track, if you're interested in things about cooking, we're going to have holistic nutrition, how to know if you're being well nourished from the foods that you're eating. If you're eating all green vegetables, are you getting enough iron? Probably yes. Are you getting enough protein? How do you know? So we'll have a nutritionist talk about holistic nutrition.
Might you mention, hey, I could go right out and pick it right off the vine, hold it in my hand, but by the time I could cook every bit of nutrient right out of that thing.
You could, and if you bought something that's at the store, how much does the nutrition decay because it's old? When you buy local foods grown by local farmers, they're fresher and they have way better flavor. I used to not like broccoli. Actually, I'm a broccoli not liker. Until I started eating broccoli that I grew and it was fresh. And it tastes completely different if you have fresh broccoli. The same thing with carrots. I love carrots, but carrots at the grocery store do not taste like carrots grown locally.
And
They
we do them very, very well locally, by the way.
Yes, we do. But by the time you get a carrot in the grocery store, it's old. It's not the same as one that you grew in your backyard.
All right, want to start with water conservation?
I would like to start with water conservation, but we're having a little trouble with our speaker confirmation on that. Yes. And this is particularly important because because we're a metropolitan area, we need to take care of our water here, make sure that it doesn't run off and get wasted, run down to the river and have a flood. And people can do water conservation and they can use that gray water to water their garden. I'm still working on that one.
You're working on that speaker. You're not working on that as a gardener. You're
No,
already doing that.
No, we're already doing that at our house. We collect rainwater, yes.
We do it very well. A couple of people have done it very well downtown here too.
Well, and the city of Valdosta has a rain barrel program, and I wanted to get Angela Bray to come and be our speaker, but she's going to be at the mayor's conference in Atlanta.
All right, but they will speak to any organization as well that the Rainbow program.
Oh yes, absolutely, they will. So.
All right, we'll jump down to something. How about urban gardening, so you can get me kick-started?
Okay, urban gardening. Josh Dawson, our county agent, one of our county agents, is going to talk about urban gardening and what it takes to have a successful garden in town. So things you have to worry about is my soil right? How do I need a tiller, or should I make a raised bed? Is it sunny enough? I don't have a sunny yard. What should I grow? So he's going to talk about growing, and also growing in compact spaces. So when you're growing in the cities or on a smaller lot, what can you grow? How much space does it need? You know, you maybe don't want to grow vining watermelons because they take up a lot of space, but you might want to grow things that grow upwards.
Not the cucumber patch.
No, you can grow cucumbers on a trellis. They actually grow very well up.
Good. All right, because I want to do raised, so obviously I'll be pouring in soil, not tilling up soil.
Right, so even when you pour in soil, if you go to the garden shop and you buy soil, you still want to, once you have that bed all made up and mixed up, you want to take a sample of that to the county extension and get it tested so that they can tell you what you need, if you need any additional supplements, or whether it's right for growing the vegetables you want.
Wow. All right. As soon as I put it all in there, thought I mixed the magic potion of soils and some mushroom soil and some other stuff.
Compost, yeah. Well, you need to know whether is the mix that you made correct. Did you get enough sand? Is it going to drain good enough? So take that over to the county extension. Costs $6 to have the soil test done, but it's well worth the money.
It didn't much matter. My doom was 3 straight days worth of rain back in '09 before the floods.
Mm-hmm.
3 straight days of torrential rainfall. Right after I'd finished the garden, put the little screen on it, and thought I was doing, obviously everything got affected, including soil and seeds and otherwise.
Right. Well, and one of the reasons why we started this conference many, many, many years ago was the challenges of growing in South Georgia. Our climate is different now, different from other places. If you're above the fall line, you get more freeze hours. We don't get a lot of freezing anymore, so that means we have more bugs. The bugs don't get killed off. Our soil is sandy and loamy, and so that's different. You need to put amendments in different than you do in other places. So we started this because the challenges of growing here are different.
All right, what's the difference between urban gardening and backyard homesteading? Just a larger scale?
Well, no, backyard homesteading, this fellow that's going to talk about that, he raises rabbits for meat. And he's going to talk about all the things that he does in his backyard homestead are centered around raising rabbits. And they grow a lot of their food in that little backyard centered around rabbits.
Is he heavily regulated? Is he?
When you're a small farmer, no, you're not. The same with chickens. When you have backyard hens, as long as you're processing, well, for eggs, you can't sell your eggs unless you can grade them. And there's classes at the extension always to do that. And if you're processing meat, if you're under 1,000 hens.
All right, they want to regulate you.
Well, if you're a big thing, you probably need to be regulated. If you're a little thing, you probably don't need to be regulated.
All right, I think one that'll be very popular, if you get to pick, what are you paying, $10 and you get to
Go to 5.
get to pick 5, I guarantee they're going to pick designing edible landscapes.
I guarantee that too. As I said earlier, Catherine Melcher and her students from UGA are going to come and talk about designing an edible landscape. And that's as simple as, changing out your boxwood little bushes with rosemary. And now you've started, and you don't have to make the change all at once. You can, little by little, changing out your crepe myrtle, which is pretty but not edible, with a fruit tree. Maybe, and something that's evergreen like a loquat.
Also, a Bradford pear and a crepe myrtle, not much tends to survive directly underneath them.
Well, correct, and a Bradford pear is invasive. They were originally said to be a barren tree, but they are not. While they're fruitless, they do reproduce, so they are not a recommended tree. And they're also short-lived.
Yeah, well, everybody thought they were so beautiful and they rammed them in one end into the other.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go with herbs and spices, and that kind of goes with the edible landscapes.
Yeah, herbs and spices. So if you're growing your own food, it doesn't come pre-spiced. If you go to the grocery store and you buy an already cooked something, it already has all of the herbs and spices in it. Or you buy an herb and spice packet and you pour it on into your make ranch dressing. Christine Hagen from the Hagen Homestead is going to talk about growing herbs and spices and how to use them in foods to make your food taste delicious. And you can make something that's otherwise bland be delicious with herbs.
All right, backyard hens, we're going back to them because so many people now are doing it. Can't sell the eggs, but you sure can give them to your buddies.
Oh yeah, you can give them away. Well, you can sell them if you have been through grading and you have a certificate. And both the Lowndes County and Brooks County extensions do periodically offer the egg grading class, so you can, egg handling class. Claudia Dunkley from UGA Tifton is always our speaker, and she is the expert on backyard hens and some of the concerns that you have to do and how to manage your flock and what to know and how to build an effective coop for them, and the thing about hens is that, so we're talking about regulation, hens are actually not allowed in the city of Valdosta. So if we wanted to have hens be legal in the city of Valdosta, everybody should lobby their city council person to make that change to the land development.
So my two buddies are illegal?
Everybody that has hens is not supposed to, but
I'm not